Half the battle for learning a straddle press is your flexibility. Sure, you can rely on pure strength and can still 100% get the press, but it's just so much easier if you have flexibility in the right places. And not only will it feel easier, it will also look a lot better. Today's video, I'm going to go over all the essential stretches that you want to be doing if you're learning the straddle press. But before we get to it, please do me a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Running a small channel here, and if you can just support me by clicking the like on this video and subscribing to this channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you in advance, and let's get into today's topic. Straddle press flexibility stretches. The first body part we're going to be stretching today is our hamstrings. Hamstring flexibility is important because you want to be able to touch the floor with your hands while you're standing, which is the starting point of all the straddle presses. You have to be able to touch the floor from standing comfortably. If your hands can touch the floor, but they're far away from their feet, then it means that you're gonna have to lean a lot more forward with your shoulders during the press itself. And that costs a lot more strength, and it can be also quite painful for your wrists if you're not used to it. So let's begin stretching our hamstrings. All right, so the first stretch we're gonna do is the standing forward fold. Simply place your feet about hips width apart, toes pointing forward. Keep your legs fully straight, lock your knees, and then slowly hinge from your hips and fold over. While keeping the legs fully locked, try to straighten your back as well. Instead of rounding your back like this, try to straighten your back. So really hinging from the hips and pulling on the back of your legs. You can hold opposite elbows and just move left to right, up and down. You want to feel the stretch in the back of your legs quite a lot. And then when you're fully warmed up, when you feel ready, you can either hold the back of your ankles or your calves, or just hold anywhere in the back of the legs that you can reach, keeping your back straight, as straight as possible again. And then try to reach your head down towards the floor. Again, lock your knees fully. It's easy to just relax the knees like this, just to go lower, but you're not really stretching the hamstrings that much. It's not going to be very effective. So you want to fully lock the knees and then pull your way down, keeping your back as straight as possible. You want to lean forward slightly and just stay here. Wherever you feel the most stretch, you can just stay there. Obviously, you don't want to go to the maximum, just slightly before that, and just work your way towards better flexibility with practice through time. It's not going to get better in one session, but it will get better through 10 sessions, 20 sessions, a little bit at a time. Lean forward slightly, pull a little bit more, stay here a little bit longer. All right, so there you have it, standing forward fold. Next, we're gonna do our seated forward fold, still onto the hamstrings. So we just wanna have a nice sit on the floor, legs together. Widen your seat a little bit, spread your butt cheeks apart, and then with the legs straight, feet together, you can bend the right knee, put the right foot on the inside of your left leg, and then reach to the front, grab your left foot or wherever you can reach. Keep your back fully straight. You can take a deep breath in here, back straight, and then when you exhale, try to fold down. Keep your foot flexed on the left side, and then try to hinge from your hips again, keeping your left leg fully straight. Trying to push the back of the left knee down towards the floor as you're folding. And then really try to touch the belly to your thigh first, and then your chest to your knee. And then eventually bring your nose to your left knee as well. But all that with your back fully straight. Again, as long as you feel the back of your left leg here working, stretching, extending, you're doing it right. Try to keep the left knee as straight as you can. Try to keep the back straight as best as you can. Those are the two main points that you want to always happen when you're doing forward folds for the maximum efficiency and effectiveness. All right, So come back and let's switch the legs. So again, widen your seat a little bit. It'll make the fold a little easier. Right leg straight this time, left knee bent. Grab your right foot. From here, go ahead and fold. Again, take your time. It's not really about bringing your head to your foot, but it's about opening the right hamstring. So you want the technique to be exactly like I said, right leg straight, back straight, and then fold, hinge from your hips. Again, should be feeling a lot in the back of the right thigh here, even the knee, the back of the knee, but the knee shouldn't feel too much. And even the calf. All right, go ahead and release, and let's extend both legs straight this time. So feet together, big toes touch, heels together. From here, grab your feet or anywhere on your legs that you can reach and feel good. If you're just here today, that's totally fine. Keep your back straight, knees straight, look forward, a little bit up, lift your chin slightly, and just stay here. If you're feeling a lot in the back of your thighs and knees, just simply stay here. If not, you can go a little deeper until you feel more. Try to go deeper on every exhale. I know your muscles are tense and engaged, but try to relax your head a little bit as you're stretching. Makes the whole process a little bit easier and pain-free. Again, I'm trying my best to straighten my knees as I'm doing this. Super active. All right, and release. All right, so next we're gonna stretch our hips. During the press, when your legs are in the air, the wider your legs can open, the easier the press will be. Because the less you can open your straddle, the more you have to lean forward with your shoulders, like if you're doing a pike press. So just by opening your legs into a wider straddle, you can save a lot of energy and also be a lot more gentle on your wrists. So the wider your straddle, the easier the press will be. On to our pancake stretch. The first thing we're gonna do is our narrow V pancake. So we're gonna sit down again, and then we're gonna open our legs just in a small V, flex your feet, and from here, we are going to fold. Again, I'm gonna widen my seat a tiny bit more, so spread your butt cheeks a little bit, and then I'm gonna keep my back as straight as possible, and then try to fold. If you can grab your feet, grab your legs anywhere, it will be a great help because you can pull on your legs as your chest lowers down. Again, lock my knees, push the back of my knees down towards the floor, keep my feet flexed. And I want to bring my chest down, but my head forward. So I'm lengthening my spine forward and at the same time hinging from my hips and trying to put pressure in the back of my legs here and my hips. A lot of the straddle press position will be in this position here, where if you have more tightness in this area, it's gonna restrict you from going up smoothly. So instead of opening super wide, which we're gonna do later on, this range of motion here is actually really helpful and also really helpful for the starter press as well. So again, super active legs, push the back of the knees down as I lower down, lower and lower. I want to reach forward now, lengthen everything forward. Again, if you're a little tighter, you can just push the floor here like this, keep the arms straight, and then lift, even arch your back a little bit, just to get that back to be straight. Because the more back or the more straight your back is, the more pressure you're gonna put in your hips and your hamstrings. Whereas if you're rounding your back like this, then you're really letting go of the pressure in your legs and hips. So You want to put pressure there, just not too much, a little bit at a time. If you go too crazy in one time, you're just going to injure yourself. So just a little bit each day, and you'll feel the difference right away. All right, so let's release, and now let's open a little bit wider. Again, if the last one was the widest you can go, then simply stick with that one. If you can go a little bit wider, then go ahead and open your legs as wide as possible. So from here, I plant my heels down, plant my back of my knees down, and then from here, walk the hands to the front, stay on my fingertips, lift my chest, keep my feet flexed. And then if you can go lower, go lower. Try to keep your back straight, knees straight again. Eventually you want to slide your hands away from you so that your chest can lower down to the floor without too much resistance. For many of you, this might be it, so just stay here for a couple minutes and continually putting pressure in your hips, in the back of your legs. If you feel any sharp pain anywhere, you want to back off right away because it's not a risk. It's not worth it at the risk of injury. You want to train safe and stretch without having to worry about hurting yourself or overextending any type of muscle. So if you feel any pain anywhere, just back off, and until you feel okay again, then you can go back to where you were, but just be smart about stretching. Next is our shoulders. When we are pressing up, it's essential to open our shoulders to 180 degrees when our legs or hips are being stacked. A lot of people either forget to do this step or simply don't have the shoulder flexibility to open the shoulders where it's the easiest to stack. The sooner you can open your shoulders in the press, the easier it is. But that really depends on how open your shoulders are. So for this, we're going to do overhead mobility stretches so that you can bring your arms overhead while keeping a straight back without arching. So when it comes to overhead shoulder mobility, this is probably the best stretch that you can do. I've gone over this stretch probably 5 times at a minimum on my channel, but the more the merrier, to be honest, because the more people know about this stretch, the better they can open their shoulders. So all you need is a bench, a chair, a sofa, anything with a little ledge about knee height, a string, a belt, anything that you can wrap your elbows around. So you want to wrap the string around your elbows like this, so it goes on the tricep and bicep side rather than the forearm side. And you're going to need a stick, I'm using a broomstick or the top of the broomstick. Any stick can do. So you want to grab the stick, underhand, palm facing you, and you want your wrists just a little bit wider than your elbows, like this. And then you're going to place your elbows onto the bench, and then you want to walk your knees back. So your hips are going to sit at about 90 degrees. And then from here, you should already be feeling the stretch. And you want to round your back a little bit more and then push your weight down. The stick really offers the external rotation that your shoulder will have when you're pushing your weight downwards. Without the stick, your shoulder will open. It's just not going to open as much. So with this, you want to keep the pressure on your deltoids, on your shoulders, while keeping your back as straight as you can. You want to lean your weight towards your shoulders, your arms. You're using the bench as an opener for your shoulders. Essentially, you want to picture your arms going over your head here while keeping your back straight and your chest in. For a lot of people, this will be a very intense stretch. Again, use some precautions. So if you feel tingly in your hands or arms, you can back off the pressure a little bit. And if you feel one side is tighter than the other, you can lean towards that side just slightly more, just to even out the mobility and flexibility in your shoulders. This is one of the best stretches that I found for my shoulders. And in the beginning, my shoulders were super tight, and I did this religiously every day until my shoulders became open. And I still do this now because my shoulders will get tight over training or just every day. So doing this before you do any handstands, it's very ideal. It's something I still practice today. And last but not least, your wrists. Wrist injuries are super common in the beginning handstand stages, especially for the press. Why? Because in order to press, you have to lean forward quite a lot with your shoulders, and it extends the angles of your wrists quite a bit. You'll have your entire body weight sitting on your wrist at an angle that you're probably not comfortable with. And as we talked about earlier, the more flexibility you have in your hamstrings, hips, and shoulders, the safer and lighter it will be for your wrists, because you simply wouldn't need to lean forward as much. But you want to stretch your wrists nonetheless because you still want to have good wrist mobility for the press. And finally, we have our wrist stretches. When it comes to pressing, you're going to have to extend your wrist angle quite a lot. So you're going to have to lean forward with your shoulders, and your wrist, this here, will close, or your wrist actually extends. And when that happens, and if your wrist does not have the mobility or strength for it, it will feel painful, especially sharp pain sometimes. So you want to stretch it ahead of time. So right now we're just leaning forward, just to kind of simulate that angle that you'll be going to in a press, so that when you do go into a press, you're not going to have any surprises. And do not worry that if you go to a press and lean forward, you feel some pain. Your wrists will get stronger and more durable over time. So as you train, you will feel less and less pain and more strength there. So you can now go side to side. You can draw little half circles in the front and just put pressure on all the corners of the wrist, especially when you're going forward like this and extending the wrist, because that is the primary range that you'll be working with in a press. And try to lean a little bit more weight towards the thumb side as well, because there will be more weight on the inside of your hands rather than the outside if you're doing the press correctly. All right, you can shift your fingers to the outside and then palms flat on the floor, and you can go side to side and go forward and back. But mainly you want to feel this area here, the middle finger, index finger, thumb, and this whole area here. You want to feel the stretches there, because those are, again, the main areas that you'll be working with rather than the outside, the pinky or the ring finger, which is barely used when it comes to handstands. All right, let's turn the palms up, fingers in the middle, and can go side to side. Try to strain your arms, lock the elbows as much as you can, and really put the pressure on your wrists. Again, controlled pressure, nothing too crazy. All right, shift your fingers to the knees and lean back. Again, lock the elbows and just push the floor away from you. Okay, one more time. Let's palms flat, and then just go to where you feel that you'll go in the press the most, which is inside and forward, and put pressure there. Do these stretches along with your regular press training, and you'll just take your press to the next level. And if you want to know more about the straddle press, I have a bunch of videos on my channel that you can check out right now. Links will be in the description. And if you have any questions or recommendations or videos I should make next, feel free to let me know in the comments. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.